If people aren't buying your product, it's probably not your price, and it's definitely not your hustle. The real problem is they don't understand why they need what you're offering. That's not a sales issue, that's an education gap. And the $7 cheat code helps you close that gap quickly. It's a simple, powerful system that shows you how to position your offers so clearly, so effectively, your audience sees the value and buys with confidence. Whether you're selling a physical product, a service, a course, or a digital product, the cheat code will help you sell smarter, not harder. Grab it now at $7cheatcode.com. That's the number 7, DOLLARCHEATCODE.com. That's $7cheatcode.com. It is a no-brainer. If you're an entrepreneur looking to grow and scale your business, this is the program for you. And yes, the investment is only $7. Make sure you go to $7cheatcode.com to learn more. Welcome to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, the #1 podcast and resource for Black entrepreneurs. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and Black Entrepreneur Blueprint was created specifically to educate and inspire Black entrepreneurs to launch, build, and grow successful, sustainable businesses. Join us as we help build an economic power base in the worldwide Black community by building and supporting Black-owned businesses. If you're currently an entrepreneur or want to be an entrepreneur, you're invited to join us each and every week here at Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Welcome to the BEB family and get ready to elevate your entrepreneur IQ. Welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, episode number 582. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and today we have another outstanding and informative show in store for you. Today's show topic is how to choose between low-ticket and high-ticket offers and win big. How to choose between low-ticket and high-ticket offers and win big. So if you ever wonder, is it better to sell a $27 product to hundreds of people or a $5,000 offer to just a handful? So in today's episode, we're going to dive deep into the battle between low ticket and high ticket offers. And I'm going to break down the pros and the cons and the real numbers so you guys can decide which strategy makes the most money and makes the most sense for your business and your lifestyle. It doesn't matter if you sell digital products, coaching, or physical products. By the end of the episode, you guys will know exactly which path or combination is right for you. Now, before we get into today's show content, let me just share a few things with the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint family. First and foremost, I want to welcome all first-time listeners to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Welcome to the BEB family. Please stick around until the end of today's broadcast, and I'm going to share all my social media contact information and resource links, such as the link to my latest online program titled $7cheatcode.com. That's the number 7, DOLLAR, cheatcode.com. If you're having problems selling, growing, and scaling, this is the solution for you. Go to $7cheatcode.com for more information. Now, let's get ready for today's show content. So today we're going to talk about low ticket offers versus high ticket offers and how to win big selling either or even both. And so if you could sell one $5,000 product or $510 products, which one would you choose? And by the end of today's episode, you'll know exactly which offer is better for your business and why the answer actually might surprise you. So let's get ready to dive in. Number one, let's talk about a low ticket offer and exactly what that is. Low ticket offers are typically under $100. Examples may be ebooks, templates, mini courses, or even merchandise. So another thing is it's an easier entry point and a higher volume needed for you to be successful. Now, a high ticket offer is typically over $1,000, and some examples could be coaching packages, masterminds, premium services, or luxury products. Now, you're going to have fewer customers, but they're going to be harder to close. So there is also what's called a mid-ticket, and a mid-ticket is anywhere usually between $100 to $9.99. And we're not going to really get into that because for me, basically, I would call a low ticket anything under $200, high ticket anything over $1,000. You can play around in that mid-level range if you want to, but it all depends on who your audience is and what you're trying to accomplish. And we're going to get into that today. First, I want to start with the pros and cons of low ticket offers. Okay. So here's some of the pros. Low barrier to entry for customers. So the customer doesn't have to spend a lot of money to become one of your customers. So that's a benefit. It's easier to sell impulsively. So just like when you go into the supermarket or any retail store, you'll see what they call the impulse buys on the shelves. When you go out of a supermarket, you'll see candy, bubble gum, all that type of stuff. That is an impulse purchase. So that's one of the pros of low ticket offers. Next, another pro is it can be automated and scaled. You can automate and scale low ticket offers. Next, other benefit is it's great for building trust and an audience quickly. So if you want to create an audience trust or build trust with an audience, provide them with a high quality, low ticket offer. So when they come in and they purchase your product or service and they're like, man, this is a great product, I got a tremendous value, that's going to build trust. So those are some of the pros of low ticket offers. Let's look at some of the cons. It requires a high volume to make serious money. Just like in the example I talked about, if you want to make $5,000, you can sell one $5,000 product or $510 products. So what you're talking about, a higher volume to make serious money. Another con is marketing and ad spend can eat into your margins. So if your product only costs $10 for the buyer of the product, that means you have to produce the product and sell the product, market the product for less than $10. And if you only have a $10 margin there and your product costs you $3 to make, that means you only have $7 to actually market and create ad spend to move that product. So that's another con. And the last con I want to talk about, it attracts more price shoppers and less committed customers. So I realized if people don't pay, they don't pay attention. And so I had to start increasing the pricing of some of my products, depending upon what I'm trying to, what my goals and objectives are. Okay, so those are some of the pros and cons of low ticket offers. Now, let's talk about some pros and cons of high ticket offers. Some of the pros: higher profit per sale. If you're selling a $5,000 coaching program, you pretty much have a margin or profit of $5,000 minus your marketing costs, okay, if it's a digital product. And of course, the time and hours it takes to create that product. Another pro is fewer customers needed to hit your revenue goals. So if your revenue goal is $100,000 for this product and it costs $5,000, then all you need to do is sell 20 people. So fewer customers needed to hit revenue goals. Also, it often attracts more committed, higher quality clients. When you spend more money, you're going to be more committed to whatever you spend the money on. Okay. How many of you have bought an online course or a program for $97 and never opened it or never finished it? If you could see me, I'm raising my hand right now. But if I spend, $1,000, $2,000, or $3,000, guess what? I'm going to be engrossed in that product or service because I have a bigger investment in it. Another pro of a high ticket offer is allows for deeper transformation and customer relationships. When you invest $5,000 in a program, guess what? You're going to take the time to follow the program, and it's going to improve your customer relationships and allow a deeper transformation. Okay. It's funny. One of my mentors told me that all of my products are underpriced. He said, you're doing your audience a disservice because you're not making them commit to transformation. And the way you do that is by increasing your price. So all of my old products, I've pretty much left them alone. But on some of my newer products, I'm going to be on the higher ticket end. Now, let's talk about some of the cons of high ticket offers. It requires more trust before purchase. More trust before purchase. And it's funny, the promo at the beginning of the show, $7cheatcode.com, the number 7, DOLLAR, cheatcode.com, speaks directly to this. So one of the cons is it requires more trust before purchase. So if you're thinking about selling a high ticket offer, make sure you get $7cheatcode.com, and that way you can actually make sure that when you do make this offer, people are going to buy. Another con is it's a longer sales cycle and more touch points. Once again, people aren't buying a $5,000 product or a high ticket product without having more touch points, and the sales cycle is a little longer. And the last con I want to talk about, it may require sales calls or high touch closing methods. So when you see a lot of these high end coaching programs, what they try to do is create a call or set up a call with the prospective customer, and then they can address more any questions the customers have and be able to close the sale and give them more confidence in their purchase. Okay. So like I said, a coach selling a $5,000 mastermind with 10 clients, that's 50 grand. But it's going to take more touch points than selling a $7 or $5 product. Now, let's talk about real quick which one is better. And I think it depends on several things. It depends, number one, your audience size. So if you have an audience size of $1 million and you're selling a $5 product, that's a good product, and you have, half of the people, I'm not even going to say that, just say 10% of the people buy that $5 product. So that's 100,000 people buying $5 product. That's $500,000. Okay. So once again, if your audience is large, you can get away with selling low ticket offers because you're going to make it up with the volume. Also, you want to look at it depends on your sales and marketing skills. If you're not a great salesperson, it's going to be super hard to sell a high ticket offer. Okay, because once again, usually that is going to entail interaction with a person, not just a system. Another thing it's going to depend on is does your offer offer value and transformation? People buy transformation. They want to move from point A to point B. And we're talking about which one is better. And another thing it depends on is your preferred business model and your lifestyle. So you can sell a low cost or low offer product all day long with systems. You could have videos, you could have demonstrations or whatever, and you can sell a product probably up to about $250. But when you talk about in the thousands of dollars, once again, that business model is going to probably entail somebody getting on the phone with the prospective customer. All right. So another thing you want to look at, guys, is the introduction of a hybrid model. We're talking low ticket, high ticket. And now I want to talk about the hybrid model. Now, the hybrid model starts with the low ticket for volume and trust, what we talked about, and then it ascends to a high ticket for transformation and profit. So that's what a lot of things are, or a lot of people offer. They call it a lot of times a tripwire. If you're just selling a low ticket offer with no back end to it, you're probably not going to be as successful as you think you are. So the hybrid model, you start out with a low ticket offer for volume and trust. Oh man, this is a great product. And then what you do, you ascend to a high ticket for transformation and profit. Now you upsell, or now that they're on your database, what you're doing is now, okay, hey, you guys bought this low ticket product. Let me give you another place to go that's going to take you to a higher level, but it's going to cost more money. But that's cool because you've already got the trust factor there. And once again, it started with a commitment that wasn't that expensive. So that's a part of the hybrid model. So an example of a funnel is, say, a $27 product to a $297 course to a $2,997 coaching program. So it's an ascension model. So once again, $27 low ticket offer. That moves you to a $297 course. And from that course, it moves you to a $2,997 coaching program. And that's just an example. But that's exactly what the ascension model is right there. Now, It all depends, guys, on who your audience is, what you're selling, what you're more comfortable with. But from my perspective, I've done both. Okay, I've done both, and it makes sense depending upon what you're trying to do. So as a perfect example, I just talked about my $7cheatcode.com, which literally the investment is $7. And this is a ton of value. I've obviously underpriced this thing. I probably should be charging about $197 for this program. But once again, the thought process is, let me continue to build trust, especially with people who aren't fans or haven't been listening to the podcast for a while. But it's a $7 product that really should be sold for about $197. Okay, so make sure you guys go to $7cheatcode.com. The number 7 DOLLAR cheatcode.com. Okay, so that's something that you have to decide based on your audience. The way you want to build your business. If you want to be super engaged, holding coaching or one-on-one sessions or doing sales for high ticket items, it all depends on what your lifestyle, the lifestyle you want. I always talk about building your business around your lifestyle, not your lifestyle around your business. When you build your lifestyle around your business, many times you create what I call a Frankenstein business, something that you can't control and you can't stand. And if you could see me right now, I raise my hand because I've done that on several occasions. So you want to build a business around your lifestyle. If you like to travel, you don't want to do a lot of one-on-one. You may want to create a low ticket offer that has an ascension model, but it's all systematized where you don't have to necessarily get on the phone. Now, if you like one-on-one consultations, you like doing live group coachings and all that good stuff, and you're trading dollars for hours, then, that's you. But once again, always build your business around your lifestyle. You're going to feel much better. You're going to be more productive because everything is in alignment. All right. So here's some action steps for you guys and a couple of takeaways. Number 1, right? Evaluate your current audience and offer. Evaluate your current audience and offer. Who's your audience? What kind of offers will they be amenable or acceptable to? Okay. Number 2, map out your revenue goals and reverse engineer the sales needed for both low ticket and high ticket offers. Map out your revenue goals. If you want to generate $1 million this year, use a low ticket offer and a high ticket offer and map that out. Reverse engineer and find out how many sales you need, right? If you're doing a $5,000 product, it's going to be a lot less sales per unit than doing a $50 product. So map out your revenue goal and reverse engineer the sales needed to hit that. And number 3, decide if you'll go all in on one model or a blend of both. Do you want to go high ticket, low ticket, or a hybrid model? Okay, that may be the best. But once again, it all depends on you and what you're trying to accomplish. So the final thoughts, guys, it's not really about the low ticket versus high ticket. It's about the right offer and the right audience at the right time. Doesn't matter low ticket or high ticket. Right audience, right offer at the right time. And that's really what's going to determine which option that you look at. Low ticket, high ticket, or hybrid of the two. Now, before we get to this last segment real quick, guys, let me just share my social media contact information and resource links. I talked at the beginning of the show about $7 cheat code. Learn more there, family. If you're having problems scaling, growing, breaking that glass ceiling, go to $7cheatcode.com. The number 7, DOLLAR cheatcode.com. Also, make sure that you use the website. We have all types of free resources on the website, blackentrepreneurblueprint.com, that will help you elevate your entrepreneur IQ. Go to the website, hit the Learn tab. There's a drop down. We have content on scaling your business, mindset, marketing, e-commerce, everything to move you from point A to B. Now, if you want to contact me in anything long, family, hit me on my email, jjones@blackentrepreneurblueprint.com. Facebook, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Instagram, I have 2 IG accounts. The first one is J Jones for Real, JAYJONES, the number 4, REAL. Second one is Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Connect with me on Twitter, or what's it called now, X, JJones001, JAYJONES 001. Also, YouTube, I have additional content on YouTube, so make sure you go on YouTube, type in Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, hit that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to connect with me on LinkedIn. Just search J Jones, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. And also, to your first-time listeners, we drop a new episode every Monday morning, 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on all your major podcast platforms and YouTube. So wherever you're watching this or listening to this, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you'll be alerted when the new episodes drop. All right, let me just do a quick recap for you right now, guys. And today we talked about how to choose between low ticket and high ticket offers and win big. I talked about the pros and cons of each of the offers, and I also talked about a hybrid model. But the real deal is, look at your audience. If you currently have an audience, or if you are starting a business and have a target audience, what makes more sense for you? You know, reverse engineer some of the things you're trying to sell for your revenue and income goals. You may find out that, hey, I can do low ticket offers and get to my goal. I might be looking for part-time income from a side hustle, and all you want to make is $1,000 a month. You know, you can do that pretty easily with low ticket offers. But if you're doing it full time and need more money, guys, you're probably going to have to do either a hybrid or a high ticket offer. So the bottom line is, guys, you have to decide what makes more sense for you, your business, your lifestyle, and your objectives. That's really the real deal on that. Now, before we close it on out, guys, I know I say this each and every week, but it's true. We get more and more downloads because of you, the BEB family. I appreciate you guys so much. Please continue to spread the word about the podcast, the blog, the website, the whole ecosystem, the online courses, everything designed to help you elevate your entrepreneur IQ. Remember, it's not about me. It's not about you. It's about us. It's about building an economic power base in the worldwide Black community by building and supporting Black-owned businesses. Love you guys. See you same time next week. Peace.